Can you briefly tell me about what kind of technologies you have worked with, what are the domains you have worked with, and then
Yeah, sure.
what kind of projects you have worked with and roles that you have worked with?
Sure. Thanks for giving this opportunity. I have total 12 years of experience in .NET. My career was started as an ASP.NET and after that MVC, presently working with the .NET Core microservices, Azure, with the different services which is used for the different modules. I do have good exposure on databases, SQL Server, NoSQL as a Cosmos DB, MongoDB, and the Azure Table Storage. And I was working as my role is a lead software engineer. I have the teams along with my individual contribution in terms of the code review, in terms of to get any one of the stored procedure optimization in along with my sprint user story. I can say like 60% of my development and 40% of is a code review and including of a new automation tool to give us more kind of quality product. And in terms of any of the deviation on the current user sprint, we need to help the team members to achieve the targets as well as their productivity. Coming to, I want to become multi-cloud architect, Azure, AWS, as well as enterprise architect. These are my aspirations in going forward. I do have some kind of roadmap. I do work with the different domains in like healthcare domain and financial domain, airline catering domain and different domains. I was working with the different peoples like North America and APAC, Latin regions, different time zones. If there is any issue, for example, if any one of the sprint was going to the live, there might be some kind of missing of the script, some kind of a blockers will come to it. We need to have a point of contact and to make the all the team members. Maybe as a lead, I know what is the recent changes was moved to the production. What could be the reason? Do we have any of a quick turnarounds to business sustainability? These are all the things I was take care of my career. Coming to my achievements, I do have a lot of achievements in terms of best employee of the year, best employee of the month, and a lot of client appreciation for a quick turnarounds of the production, the blocker issues. It's not only for the development side. We have middle millions of other team members are there. For them, we need to have provide some kind of input. What is exactly happening? Whether the request is coming to their side or not. These are all the things I was involved as a point of contact for, with the different regions of the people. I was working with the senior architect to get some kind of. I was suggested some POCs and getting of some corrections from those POCs and implement as those POCs and to convert as those POCs also a projects for the particular clients. This is what basically the brief, but if you can tell about lot of other things are also there. But this is my brief, Vincent.
Okay, all right. So you're working as a software architect today?
Role is like a lead software engineer, but I was working as associate architect. I was not as a lead architect or other architects, but I was working under the senior architect. They will suggest us, and I will try to implement with the latest technologies with Azure services and AWS, and it's a kind of on-premise also. It depends on the client side. The same product has to be supported with the different clients. It has to be taken care of all the things, and the cost is also involves a matter. If you can consider as a Redis cache, Azure Redis cache is a costly, but if you can take as a VM and install that Azure Redis cache in the VM, it is cheaper. These are all the things in terms of cost analysis, in terms of design phase, in terms of the sprint review and backlog grooming session. All the things I was actively participating of all the things, but in those cases, my time most of the cases is extended like 8 hours to 10 hours. 11 hours like that. Yeah,
Okay, interesting. So let's start with some
sure.
questions. You have worked with dotnet for like almost all your 11 years, I
Correct,
would
correct.
say,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
So garbage collector, can you describe what is the disposable pattern and how does garbage collector play a role in this?
Yeah, garbage collector basically there is three phases in terms of phase one is a short-lived object, phase two is a medium-lived object, and phase three is a long-lived object. Long-lived object in terms of static objects and static variables, and there is a, some kind of the objects which we need to be have the unmanaged code maybe these are the things will come into the picture. And the short-lived object, whenever these garbage collections also have the two phases, like is a managed code and unmanaged code. The managed code as a garbage collector will take care in the three different phases, three different cases. One is it is running out of the physical memory, that is one of the phase. And second case, the system have the some kind of cron expression. Based on the cron expression by the background, the garbage collector will collect of unused or unreferenced memory spaces from short-lived object. If there is any objects of the root nodes, and it will try to move from the short-lived object to the medium-lived object or the long-lived objects. And third phase is there is a some threshold. The system virtual memory, there is a some threshold. If it is reaching the threshold, it will automatically garbage collector will collect. These are all the three cases. Apart from that, as a developer, if you want to do it, gc.collect is one of the method. It will collect. I want to push the garbage collector especially to collect of all unused memory spaces to reduce the heap size, and it will remove that unused or unreferences. This will be taking care. And in case of non-managed code, we need to go ahead with the iDisposable interface. We need to call the dispose method, or we can use in terms of using statement, and the using statement will it's a kind of taking care whenever it is not a, we don't have that exactly frequent timings, but it will take care of unused memory resources like ADO connections, streams, and file operations. Those are all the things which was not executed by the current CLR.
So if the dispose method is not called by your consuming class, what happens?
You mean to say non-managed unmanaged code?
A dispose method on a class is
Mm-hmm.
not called. So what happens to objects of that class?
Objects of this class, it will the garbage collector will wait for disposing of the frequent time. Maybe the garbage collector will call as a given cron expression. That time it will clean up the memory spaces. Unless until it won't clean up the memory spaces, memory space.
No, but the question is the dispose itself is not called.
Mhm.
So if that object is destroyed by garbage collector, what happens to the unmanaged?
If the dispose is not called, it won't call the garbage collector.
Garbage collector won't be called.
The garbage collector don't be dispose the objects.
So it will be a memory leak.
Yeah.
But then you are implementing disposable pattern. Do you know what an disposable pattern and how it works?
No, iDisposable pattern I haven't worked, but iDisposable interface, extend that interface and call in the dispose method. I know that. I haven't worked on iDisposable interface. iDisposable pattern. Sorry.
Have you heard about it?
Yeah, I have heard about it, and it will try to check there are different kind of conditions, if it is a disposed or not disposed. Those things it will take care. I heard that one. I saw the theoretical, but practical implementation I did not get a chance.
Got it. have you worked on multi-threading?
Yeah.
So suppose I have a memory object that I want to load, and it's a heavy memory object. If and it is cached. Suppose I have like 100 threads that come in at the same time. They are looking for that object, and that object needs to be refreshed because there is some database update that has updated that object in the background. Now, what is the best solution that you can design given that the load of that object is going to be slow if all of those threads are to go to the database to load it? What is the best way that you would do it?
First of all, I need to. It is a cached data, right? If there is any of the I load the list of the information from the database and cached it into some in-memory cache, and multiple threads are trying to access the same resource. I will try to use the locking mechanism before going to the. If you allow the multiple threads at the same time, that is also inconsistent and the violation of constraint. Violation of the data. Those cases I can go ahead with the based on the like I can go ahead with the mutex or the locking mechanism mutex dot wait one and mutex dot release. And in this case, what I will do is if there is any of the insertions or updation is happened to the list, I will try to clean that Redis. I will try to clean up the cache data. Then when the cache data is clean up, next thread once the operation is completed, it will go out of the loop, and the next thread is trying to check whether the cache data is null or empty. Then those case it is not having the null. It will go to the database and it will fetch the data and it will try to perform the operation. I will try to clean up those cache data based on some condition, whether it is an update or insert. If it is a simple select, I don't want to clear the Redis cache. If it is update or insert, I will try to update the data and I will clean up the cache key. We need to get the cache data based on the cache key. If we clean the cache key data, I will. The next thread is trying to check whether the cache data is an empty or not. If it is an empty, again I will call to the database. I will get the fresh data.
So, if so, what sort of synchronization object you are going to use? Mutex and mutex dot wait one and release. Okay, mutex dot wait one and release. So if you do a mutex, you will have. How are you going to do it? Can you explain that? In detail? Yeah. I have one of the block is there is a synchronized block. That is a maybe it is a one of the method. In this inside of the method, first I will check. I will log mutex dot wait one is the mutex obj equal new mutex dot wait one is the locking mechanism. It will allow only one thread at a time. Wait one method inside of the method I will try to get the data from the cache and I will check I based on my operation based on my functionality it will try to insert or update or delete. I know if I have the list count, I know that if there is any updation there is some kind of insert or update or delete. We have the different conditions are there. I need to maintain. I need to check the possibility. I know what is the where the data is going to be insert, where the data is going to update, or only simply we are getting the data. The select operation. I know those things. Select operation in the sense of the in-memory select, like the collection dot select xyz x dot new object. I will try to return the data, but I know
what is where we are trying to update the data, where we are trying to append the data. In those cases, I can what I will do is I can uh, I can I want to if it is an insert or update, I can try to uh, clean the I can try to update into the database. This because this data has to be updated. It has to be used by the multiple process, not only for this process. And I can clean up, or I can based on some condition. It's a business requirement. In my case, I am thinking that there is one of the properties got updated. In this case, I don't want. I can update it to the cache data itself. I don't want to reclean it, and I don't want to make it as load the data again. If it is if I have the multiple properties is trying to getting update or delete, those cases I can go ahead with the clean up the data and getting the refresh the latest data. If any of the other modules is trying to perform the data on the same table. Okay, in this case, I can try to do the requirement, and I will try to remove the cache data or cache key, and then I will mutex that release one. It will release the next thread LR2 access. Once the next thread is checked whether the cache data is available or not, it will, if it is not there, it will try to get the latest copy, and it is trying to perform the operations.
Okay. All right. If you have two classes where you want to use the functionality of it in a third class, how would you do it in C Sharp?
Two classes. I want to use the third class. I can. Is the two? Is there is any dependency relation between the two classes or individual? Those are dependent or independent? Independent. Yeah, then I can go ahead. Okay, I can go ahead with an extension. It's a kind of inheritance. If it is, we can inherit
from both of them, A and B.
We can. I can define the class B as an interface, and I can extend that interface to class B, and I can inherit that class A, and I can inherit that interface. Yeah.
Can you not do class A, class B inherited into class C by building an interface?
No, I haven't tried, but I need to cross check. But it is possibility is there. Definitely, the possibility is there. But I haven't tried this in this case. What is the problems might be occur? But definitely, the possibility is there. It will allow.
All right. So HTTP once get delete. In what cases would you go for a put versus a push?
Yeah, post is the it will try to it will always create the resource. Put it will try to check the generally it will try to check whether the resource is available. It will update. If it is resource is not available, it will insert. In these cases, I can go ahead with the post and put.
Link queue. When you write a link queue expression, what is the type of data that you get back typically?
Anonymous.
Okay. What about lambda?
Lambda is a predicate. Is it true or false? It's we have the different things are there based on the thing. It will give the data. It will return the nothing, or it will return some kind of true or false.
Can you explain what is a multicast delegate?
Yeah, multicast delegate. I want to have the call the method A It's a continue with the method B. Those cases I can go ahead with the multicast delegate. It's a continue with the task 1, continue with the task 2 like that.
Okay. Navin, have you worked with parallel task library?
Yeah.
So you have a application that does multiple uh, things in the background.
Okay.
You want to make the efficiency better. How do you use uh, parallel task library in such a situation?
Yeah, parallel task library, it will, we have the different ways, like I can create as a background task, like task.run, and I will try to create a two tasks and run the two tasks parallelly also possible. And the task.parallel for each. These are the two predefined method. Those methods I can able to call the method. It is also depend on if there is any synchronization concept. All the things will come into the picture. If there is a, for example, if we take as a flight 1 and flight 2, flight 1 data is different, flight 2 data is different. In those cases, I can call with the task.parallel for each, and flight ID I will get the data and I will process it. In the second, if the second parallel for each, it will create another thread and it will try to perform the data. There is no dependency in between. If there is a dependency in between, you need to take care about of consistency, and the data consistency is one of the major criteria. But it depends on the case to case when to choose the task parallel library or when not to choose the task parallel library.
So what will happen to the main thread when you're calling the task.parallel library?
It will it won't block the main thread, and it will process the next sequence of the statement, and all these tasks will run parallelly background as a data.
So if I say parallel dot for each, then the parallel dot for each will complete and it will go to the next statement.
Parallel it depends. Parallel for each, it has to be, it will wait completion of all the process. It will block the main thread.
What if you do async IO in there? Can you do an async IO parallel dot for each?
We can do, but that is not suggestible approach.
Why?
Because of if there is a CPU bound, the parallel for each will give the more performance, and we need to if it is an IO operation, if it is if it is, we need to call as some third party APIs as a parallel. Then you sync and await is one of the best practices as was mentioned by the Microsoft.
Okay. And why is async and await a better recommended approach?
Because it will create some kind of a state mission in the background. It won't block the main thread, and based on the, it will try to use that if I have the multiple four cores, the capability of server, it will try to optimize of all the cores, and it will the task will run parallelly, and whenever there is a await statement is there, the state mission will come into the picture of the particular state, and it will block the main thread.
So the main thread is blocked.
Yeah.
Okay. Web APIs. Have you worked with action filters?
Yes.
So what is action filter used for?
Action filters, I want to handle the error exceptions. I want to catch the data, catchy output catchy, and I want to do some kind of custom filters. Also, it is possible to do the action filters.
Have you worked with dependency injection?
Yeah.
So, and what are various tools have you used for dependency injection or just the .NET out of the box?
I have used as an inject, and inject is one of the third-party tool. We have used and register and request, register and resolve those things. And .NET Core default, the dependency injection supports. I have exposure on these things. I have theoretical exposure on Unity container.
Have you worked with multiple app domains
Means
in an application?
means exactly the question.
In an application, there is an app domain. Do you know what an app domain is? Can you explain?
Yeah, domain. I heard that one. I forgot that one. Can you elaborate that some more info? What is you mean to say application subdomain? DNS like that?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, have you done authentication for APIs and applications?
Yeah.
What kind of authentications have you used?
I have used different authentication in such a way that Azure AD, Active Directory by using, and I have implemented a OAuth and OpenAD Connect, and I also implemented in such a way that bear a token of our own internal authentication. Different authentications we have implemented.
So, what is the difference between OpenAD Connect and OAuth?
Yeah, OpenAD Connect basically it will provide some kind of endpoint for identity of users. For example, if OAuth 2 will give us the subject in terms of mail ID or some kind of user ID, but I want to get some kind of complete information about that user. What is that user and what is the complete information? When I want to get a chance to get more information about that particular subject, I can go ahead with the endpoint which was provided by the OpenAD Connect.
So, what cases would you use OAuth to?
Yeah, I have used in client credentials we have used and authorization code flow we have used.
Can you use OpenAD Connect for Web API?
OpenAD Connect for Web API, yeah, why can't we? Why not we can use it?
Okay. Another few questions on SQL Server.
Okay.
Can you do recursion in a stored procedure?
Yeah, we can do by using anchor CTE with anchor definition.
Can you elaborate?
For example, I have a CTE, and in the CTE we have the header, like what is the first column, and we need to mention as an anchor. And uh, I forget that what we can, by using the CTE we can do that CTE definition and recursion, and we can define as what is the recursion. The statement has to be performed. That has to be defined as a another block in the inside of the CTE.
Okay. And if you don't want to use CT, then
If you don't want to CTE, I believe it is it is possible by using the temp table and joining with the subqueries, correlated subquery. But CT is the best option I have used, and correlated subquery is also possible. It is somewhat tedious compared to the CT using the predefined functionality they provided.
okay. Have you done troubleshooting in a production environment?
Production environment troubleshooting I have not done, but we have downloaded the production data to the non-prod, and we will check with the same kind of scenarios as a pre-prod, and we can do that. We have only the radar access for the production.
Suppose you have a code procedure which is very slow.
Mhm.
How would you troubleshoot to identify what's going wrong there?
Yeah, we have done this case. There are first step is I need to get that execution plan, and is there is any table scans are needed, or is there is any index seek is requiring for a particular query. Those are the things we need to be taking care as initial, and we need to check is there is any joins, and in the joins we have the cluster index was mentioned it or not. Our non-cluster index is there. The non-cluster index is the include columns is there or not. Also, we need to take care as a careful to avoid. If there is any indexes, we need to create an index. If there is any table scan, we need to try to check what is the table scan. That is one case. And second case is as a background we have the um, we have one of the report will come if there is any of the process it is taking more than some time. Uh, it will check on the blocking session. Is there is any session ID is blocking by the other session? Because of we have the concept of transactions. Transaction will have the isolation level. By default, it will read committed data. But I was performing an operation. One of the report it is a very older, like last year or previous year. In those cases, why I need to wait? Some of the block was trying to perform the current transaction. I can also check with any of isolation level is required for the particular SP or not. And third step is for if you want to perform a just join of the table A and table B, and the table B is having the some isolation level. Why I need to getting of the join condition? Why can't you get the data in terms of CTs or temp tables and perform the creating the indexes on the temp table? And we can get the data from the temp table itself. Why we need to go with the for each and every time to go to the main database and joining? It will also taking some kind of performance things, and different ways are there, but these are the major things we need to check, and we need to getting into the some kind of problem statement, and finding of RCA and providing uh, some different providing the solution for the each problem statement. There is no straight way we have to go like this you will get the performance. The case to case will be different. If it is a if it's a kind of isolation level is there, definitely we need to think about uh, do we need to wait for the data has to be committed. Okay, if you want to need to wait the data, we need to convert that process to as a background process, and we will send a notification to the user. The user will not think about the process is taking a lot of time like that.
All right, so that brings me to the end of questions. You have any questions for me?
I just want to understand what are the exactly the requirement. What is the exactly the rules and responsibility? If everything is goes well, can I know that?
Yeah. The requirement is we have a there is a company which is in healthcare domain.
Mm-hmm.
So we have this project is typically for where we we have a repricing engine. So what happens is there's a patient who goes to a hospital, and the hospital then sends the claims as in like what are the procedures were performed, diagnosis was performed, and so on to the insurance company. The insurance company wouldn't pay everything to the hospital, right? It would reduce the amount really. So because they have a contract and all that stuff, that is where Zealous comes into picture, where the insurance company will send the claim to Zealous and say that hey, give me a good price of amount that I should pay this hospital for these kind of procedures and diagnosis and all of that. So Zealous looks at these claims and says, hey, these claims should not be paid this much. It should be reduced in value, and this is what it can pay to the hospital. So that whole piece is called repricing, and that is called that is a product that has repricing engine that does all those kind of calculations and does it. This system is based on Foxtrot. It is an old system that we are trying to migrate into dotnet. And we have web APIs, Windows services, portals, ASP.NET, .NET Core, all sort of newer technologies being in here. That's part of the project details. Roles and responsibilities, we are looking for a .NET lead. We have a good number of people on the team now that are doing the transformation project, as we are calling it. We've been into the project for almost a year now. We need a lead person who can lead the team and guide the team in terms of technology, anything that comes up as pickups.
Okay, is it? Yeah, answer the question. Is it a .NET Core and or only the .NET MVC like that? You are transforming, right? Is the transformation it has to be latest technology, right? And you have mentioned as a .NET and .NET MVC, ASP.NET also. Is that?
Yeah, it's ASP.NET and .NET framework. The reason is we have some dependency on a third-party library, which is .NET framework, and we don't have a .NET core in that particular project, but we have another sibling project that is going on where .NET core is there.
Okay, is it position is for which project?
The position is for which particular initial project that I talked about.
ASP.NET and MVC. Okay.
Yeah. We have web APIs and Windows services as well.
Okay. Yeah. I have exposure on HL7 as well as EDI formats as well. One of my previous company to sending the claims, but yeah, let's see.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's all. Ganesh. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time.